Hey, comrades. It's me. Not gonna lie, this feels a little weird. Because these days you're used to seeing
Red McCano, Senior Executive Vice Senior President of Shadaloo's Department of Treasury.
I'm not even really sure what to call myself anymore. Am I Brian out of character? Brian Bison dollars? Brian bids? Brian BIDs? Just Brian?
I don't know.
But either way, the Street Fighter cartoon. We have some unfinished business. It's been over a year since I finished my series retrospective on the Street Fighter cartoon, and if you haven't checked that out, I highly encourage it. I'm really proud of the work that I put in, and I'm happy to have offered an in-depth look into a series that is frequently only perceived at a surface level through memes and GIFs. And yet, I'm not done. Because I wanted to make the only tier list that I will ever make, and I wanted it to revolve around the Street Fighter cartoon. This is the strongest Street Fighters in the Street Fighter cartoon. And then in parentheses, maybe like a tier list. Now, full disclosure, I have no idea how to make a tier list video. But at the same time, I'm not gonna watch somebody else's tier list video to figure out how to do it, so I guess we'll start with the reveal of the tier list. I'll give you a few minutes to really, drink it in before we go over it tier by tier. I worked very hard on this tier list. Or I didn't work very hard on it at all, I don't know. I haven't photoshopped it together yet, so. The strongest Street Fighters in the Street Fighter cartoon. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is that there are a lot of characters missing from this list. It is intentional. To put it simply, there are a lot of characters where there just isn't enough conclusive information about their power level to properly put them on a tier list. Some characters only make one-off appearances, some characters have largely non-combative roles, some characters only have fights with henchmen and jobbers, some characters are literally just henchmen and jobbers, some characters only fight as part of a group. A lot of fights in the Street Fighter cartoon are just a big schmoz. All the heroes fighting against all the villains in one big battle, and it's hard to get any real data from that. Events and results of them are certainly taken into account, but most of the hard data for this tier list is based on one-on-one encounters. I need you to know that I watched the entire series over again just for this video. I put in the legwork. I didn't just pull these tiers out of my ass, okay? And lastly, I wanted to mention that this tier list reflects the various Street Fighters' power levels as they are at the conclusion of the series, because some characters actually do fluctuate in power. So let's get right into things. Hit me with that S tier. It's Ken. I hate it. I hate it so much that Ken is the most powerful character in the Street Fighter cartoon, but it's true. Season 1's finale establishes Akuma as the most powerful character in the series, requiring both the main hero and main villain of the series, Guile and Bison, to team up just to even land a single blow on him. Then, in Season 2's The World's Greatest Warrior, Ken cleanly defeats Akuma, putting him firmly at the top of the tier list. Ken maintains his spot despite losses to Fei Long and Ryu in future appearances, because Ken was disadvantaged in those fights from either being severely hungover or literally dying of a parasitic infection. Next, two World Warriors occupy A tier. Akuma is the obvious candidate, being comparable in power to both Bison and Guile combined, but not as strong as Ken. M. Bison makes the grade by means of Season 2's Kali statue. Bathing in its light grants Bison incredible power that shoots him right up to Akuma's level. In the series finale, it takes the combined effort of Cammy, Burke, Rory, Chun-Li, Sagat, and Guile to defeat him, which would admittedly sound more impressive if most of the people I just listed weren't complete garbage tier. Spoilers, Burke and Rory aren't even on this list. And now that I think about it, it's not even spoilers. I literally revealed the whole list like a minute ago. Spoilers! I'm not very good at this. Standing alone in B tier is Blanca. Season 1 Blanca was actually pretty awful. If we were talking Season 1 Blanca, he would have been down in E tier probably. But Blanca gets an extra dose of mutagen in Season 2's New Kind of Evil, and that changes things. In Face of Fury, Blanca easily bodies Guile, Chun-Li, and Vega at the same time, with ease. But a couple episodes later in The Flame and the Rose, Blanca actually loses to Ken. This puts him above Guile, but below Ken. And as strong as Season 2 Blanca is, I cannot fathom that he's as strong as Akuma or Kali Statue Bison. C-Tier is home of series protagonist Guile. He and Bison are treated as equals for most of the series and fight to numerous stalemates until the introduction of the Kali statue. The real surprise on this tier is friggin' Sawada. Guile and Sawada have a fight in the Season 2 opener, The Hammer Strikes. The two of them go a little overboard during a sparring session and decide to just stop holding back. Guile destroys a jet, Sawada cuts a tank in half. Together they level a whole building, which promptly ends the fight.
Sonic Boom!
Sawada can keep up with Guile. Dude is strong. Dulcimate D tier is an easy one. In Season 1's Dark Heart, Sim easily defeats Blanca but gets wrecked by Bison, which means he's not as strong as Guile. Chun-Li as well. She can't best Bison in Strongest Woman in the World, but she does defeat Cammy in a one-on-one during a tournament in The Medium is the Message.
I am the strongest woman in the world!
Last on D tier is Ryu. It is mostly a guess on my part. Ryu's definitely higher than Sagat, but definitely not on Guile's level. The problem is, Ryu doesn't play a particularly important role in the series, aside from the episode Second to None. Him and Ken are usually relegated to inconsequential comedy side plots, and even then, Ryu's just mostly there to be Ken's straight man. He doesn't have that many significant fights to pull from. E tier is the most packed. DJ, Sagat, Cammy, and Sodom. DJ and Sagat spend most of the series getting jobbed out to the other Street Fighters, but at the very least they have tournament victories under their belt. DJ wins a local tournament in Demon Island, and Sagat, of course, in the finals of the first World Warrior tournament before taking an L to Ryu. Cammy actually bests Guile a couple times in Season 2, but Guile's clearly fighting her with the kid gloves on, so it doesn't really count. Plus, she loses a fight to Chun-Li in The Medium is the Message, but she's not quite bottom tier. Sodom manages to avoid the bottom tier for wrecking all those cops in Cammy and The Bachelor. Alright, bottom of the list. Birdie. Nothing but losses. Would be in the same tier as Sodom, but he not only did not fight enough cops, he got captured by Rory and Celia in the same episode. And then there's Zangief. You just know Gief was bottom tier the second he first showed up, and just got one shot by Guile like he was nothing. Because he was! Like, should I just montage every single time that Gief has gotten bodied in this series? I'm gonna montage every single time that Gief has gotten bodied. Here's a montage of every single loss that Zangief has taken in the Street Fighter cartoon.
So you want to play? Flash kick! Ooh! Sonic Boom! Useless. Flash kick! Hadouken! Wait! Bison! Wait for me! Sonic Boom! Cammy! What? No greeting for Zangief? Zangief take care of self real good. Zangief leave now.
And there we go. The strongest Street Fighters in the Street Fighter cartoon. We'll just leave this up for the rest of the video, really take it in again. Enjoy! That graphic probably took me a little bit of time to make. I hope you feel a lot more informed about this cartoon and the way these Street Fighters are portrayed. I hope at least it makes you want to go back and watch it, or even at the very least, maybe watch my episodic reviews of the Street Fighter cartoon. Either way, thank you. This has been wonderful, and I can't wait to see you next time.